Welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm your host, Jessa Jeremiah, and we have a great show for you today. We're going to talk to the big brothers and big sisters of Dane County. We're going to talk to them about mentoring later in the show. And we have a special musical guest that you're not going to want to miss later on. First, we get to talk high school football with Travis Wilson, who joins us from Wisconsin Sports Network, our sports news partner. Welcome, Travis.
Thank you.
Good to have you back.
Yeah.
We get to pick your brain now after week 7. So talk to us a little bit, what did we learn in week 7 about some of these local conference races? Talk to us about that.
Well, things got a little more interesting in some of these conference races. If we start in the Big 8, conference we've talked a lot about all season, of course, a little bit of an upset at the top, where Madison La Follette, who had been in a 3-way tie for first place, went down to Verona, leaves Middleton and Janesville Craig as the top 2 teams in that conference now. And then in the Badger North, Reedsburg, who had been undefeated in conference play, lost to Mount Horeb-Barneveld, gives us a 3-way tie atop that league as well. So things are going to be pretty interesting coming down the stretch here.
Yeah, some interesting things shaking out in week 7. And let's talk about any conference races. Are there any that are already decided? Talk to us about those.
Kind of surprisingly, there isn't yet. A lot of times at this point in the year, we'll have some that are either wrapped up or very close to wrapped up, and that's not the case this year. Makes it a lot more interesting and exciting for us as fans, of course, but there's a lot to be decided in the next 2 weeks.
Very good. Well, we'll have an exciting couple weeks of football. And talk to us about league races. So what's ahead for us in league races?
Well, on the week 8 schedule, there's some nice games, but really week 9, the last week of the regular season, is going to be outstanding across the state, but especially in our area as well. I mentioned in the Big 8, Janesville Craig and Middleton are the top 2 teams. They're tied for first. They play in week 9. In the Capital South, Waterloo and Cambridge are tied for first. They play in week 9 as well. And in the Badger South, Monona Grove and Milton tied for first. They play in week 9 as well. A number of other games in week 9 that will decide conference championships where either the co-leaders or number 1 and number 2 play. So week 9 is really shaping up to be exciting and a great finish to the high school football season.
Very good. Well, some exciting stuff ahead of us. And as always, we always pick your brain on playoff report. So give us a rundown, if you would, where we are with the playoff report.
Well, I'm not going to list every team because it's getting to be pretty long.
Yeah.
But just the long and short of it, there's 113 teams around the state that have clinched a playoff spot. There's 33 that are playoff eligible, 52 that can clinch a playoff spot with one more victory, and then another 25 that can become eligible with one more victory. If you're wondering where your favorite team is at, check out wissports.net. We've got a playoff report up there. Kind of breaks everything down and simplifies the process for everybody.
Absolutely. So a great location to get all kinds of information that Travis, although you are very good at getting information out quickly, you can't get it all out. So we can go to wissports.net and get it all right there. Yep. Let's talk about some of the teams that are maybe a surprise as far as who's landed in the playoffs so far.
Well, you got to start, I think, with Stoughton. The game that they had against Oregon last week on the CW 57 Highway 138 Bowl. That win over Oregon, 13-12, got them playoff eligible, which is really a big thing for Stoughton. That's a football program that hasn't made the playoffs since 1998. That's the only playoff appearance that they've had in their school history. So it is a big thing for them to become eligible, and probably a 90 to 95% chance they'll get in, even if they don't happen to pick up one more victory along the way. So they're, based on that, they've got to be a little bit of a surprise where they're at currently. And there's some other teams around as well that could kind of sneak in and be a surprise teams as well getting into the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. And what an exciting win for Stoughton. We got to be at that game, and what an excited team and a bunch of great fans. So that was a lot of fun. Let's talk about some folks that might be missing the playoffs that we expected to be in. Any surprises there? Well,
there's some teams that either are completely eliminated or have some work to do to get in. That's a little bit of a surprise that they're in that position. Nakusa was a 5-time defending conference champion in the South Central Conference, and it looks like they are going to be left out this season. Kind of struggled out of the gates and just haven't been able to get it going. Columbus is a team that started 4-0 that a lot of people had high expectations for, and they had a couple slip-ups early on in the conference season, so they're in a position where to get into the playoffs, they're going to have to run the table the rest of the way. They need to get wins these last 2 weeks. A little bit of a surprise that they're in that position based on where they were coming into the season and into the conference schedule.
Okay, so some surprises that we maybe didn't expect on sort of both ends of the coin, and we have an exciting couple weeks ahead of us, and of course we'll have you back to get the rundown from you, Travis Wilson. Visit wissports.net to get all kinds of great information from Travis, and we'll have you back next week. Sound good?
Sound good?
All right, well, stick around. We're going to talk about student mentoring with Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Dane County next. Welcome back to Talk of the Town. We have some very special guests joining us here to talk about a very joyful success story. We have Ricardo Vasquez from Vasquez Productions, and we also have MaryKaren who joins us. Welcome.
Hi, we're very glad to be here.
Well, we are so glad to have you, and so thankful that you are able to come on and share your incredible story. And I know that Ricardo has some very important talents that you're going to share with us a little bit later. But talk to me a little bit about Vasquez Productions and what is it that you do?
Well, Vasquez Productions is a company owned by Ricardo. We play concerts, and he plays the concerts. He also tunes pianos with a wonderful friend called Joel Jones from the University of Wisconsin who goes with him. He does the tuning, but in case something surprising comes up, then Joel is there. So we really appreciate that. And one thing about Ricardo is that he has 250 songs in his repertoire. And his repertoire is located right in his head. He knows them by memory. And those are just that we have accompaniments too. He loves music, and he loves people, and he loves making people happy.
Yeah, and I understand that Ricardo really wants to help bring hope to people, that showing people from where he came from to where he is today is just an incredible success story. So talk to us about that.
Yeah, so Ricardo he has autism, and he used to be nonverbal. He would sit in the corner and wave a little stick back and forth. And now he is a sole proprietor of his own business, and so he's come a long way, and he has an incredible story to tell about it. And we're very, very happy that he's done that with a lot of help from thousands of friends and God and his wonderful family and my husband, Raymond.
Wonderful. And I understand that Ricardo also has a sister, Ray Marie, is that her name, who also has autism. So talk to me a little bit about how Ricardo hopes to help Ray Marie.
Well, Ray Marie has autism also, and she has some of the gifts Ricky has. And Ricky, if he becomes successful, she has perfect pitch, but she usually sings about 2 in the morning. But anyway, if he's successful, he hopes he can help her out also.
Wonderful. And this is really, for you, this is a very happy time that Ricardo is able to share his music. And you actually, Ricardo, you do a lot of events, I understand. So what kinds of events has Ricardo worked on?
Well, Ricardo's done many conferences, private parties, after school get-togethers, children's clubs, many different kinds. And he gives hope to people, because if he can do it, then any of you people could do it. Anybody could do it if he's come.
An incredible story. Yeah, so we get to the fun part now, Ricardo. We're going to have you play a little something for us. Go ahead and bring out, now this is the marimba that he plays. And what an incredible instrument, as we can see this rolling in here. And I'm going to let you go ahead and get set up. And Ricardo's going to play us out, but he's just got incredible talent and some incredible songs built up. So we're going to get to hear a little sample of what Ricardo can do.
I'll just set it right down there, okay? There, wherever you want to put it.
And this is quite the instrument. It took them a little bit of time to set up, but we're lucky that it's portable so that they could come on today and give us a sample.
Can I sit here? Is that okay if I sit here?
No.
Okay, I'll walk on over here and listen. Okay, you go ahead.
And you can go ahead and start. All right, so Ricardo Vasquez of Vasquez Productions. really outstanding. Well, Ricardo and Vasquez Productions are available for your next event. If you are able to and looking for this awesome music, what a talent, please give them a call. We're going to have them take us right out to break. We'll be back with more Talk of the Town, so stick around. Welcome back to Talk of the Town. We're going to talk today about mentoring, an important thing for students, and we get to talk to Dora Zúñiga, who joins us from Big Brothers Big Sisters of Dane County. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us, Dora. Now, this is kind of a startling statistic. There are 700 kids on the waiting list waiting for a mentor. Is that right? Talk to us about that.
It is, because today's parents are really stressed for time in two-parent households. So when you have a one-parent household, it's just very challenging. And I have the utmost respect for those moms who say, I need a little help. It'll be really great. And I understand that when kids are mentored through Big Brothers Big Sisters, they break the cycle of poverty and go on to college.
Wow. This is an important topic, and I know you do a tremendous amount of work, so talk to us about how Big Brothers Big Sisters is able to match these 700 kids with mentors every year.
Well, it takes two things. It takes, beyond the parent saying, I need help, it also takes money to make and support the matches, and it takes committed volunteers who step up and say, I'm willing to make a commitment to a child. I'm willing to hang out with them for 2 years, hopefully longer, because I'm a Madison and Dane County resident. I'm never leaving this great community.
Absolutely. Wow. Well, it takes a lot, like you said, and it takes a lot of these mentors to run this program and help all these kids. So talk to me a little bit about that. Now, folks at home who might be watching who want to be a big brother or a big sister, you call it a big when it's either, right?
Right.
Who are you looking for to be a big? Who can do this?
So in addition to just the traditional one adult to one child, we have couples and family matches, okay? People who are in this community, who are residents, who are looking to stick around for a while, who have an interest in children. And here's the interesting part, Jessa, that when you become a volunteer through Big Brothers Big Sisters, you're not alone. You're in a partnership with the staff. You're assigned to a counselor that then helps you come up with ideas. When the troubling times come, or when you're faced with the reality that the child is living in a poverty situation and you want to help, what kind of things can you be doing proactively to help this child break that cycle of poverty? So it's a supported environment. You can be super successful. So you just gotta love kids.
Absolutely. And you said some important things there, and I want to talk to you a little bit more about that and the impact that it has not only on the children, but on the supporters, on the bigs. So talk to us about really what happens to the big and to the little through this process.
Well, first of all, it allows the mentor, the big brother or big sister, to be a kid again, to do things that they normally wouldn't get to do. So you might want to go see the new Pixar movie, but you feel a little awkward going by yourself. But you have a kid. That's number one. Two, you get to see a child grow and develop over time and really reach their full potential. I can't tell you enough how many times I hear from mentors who say, I get so much out of it. Not only am I having great fun, but I see the growth, the impact, and that I know that I'm playing a part in helping this child achieve. They're finally reading at 5th grade level.
That's important and exciting and rewarding for both parties. Let's talk a little bit more about the children that enroll in these kinds of things. What typical background are you seeing of kids that come to you with this program?
Most of our kids are low income. They're on free reduced lunch. Most of our kids' families are experiencing depression, in part because how difficult is it to make a living in Dane County? When a 2-bedroom apartment costs $1,200 and minimum wage is $8-9. It's challenging for these families, and the requirements for being a good parent, for being cool in school, are challenging. And so, kids are really experiencing some really great big challenges. The economic divide is being felt very, very severely. Single parent households, So a wide variety of issues that families may be facing.
Yeah, and we're almost out of time, but I want to ask you real quickly about accountability and how that plays a role here.
Accountability, we make sure that everybody's safe. You're in touch with your match support specialist once a week or once a month to make sure that you're doing okay. And so we're going to help you, everybody, to stay together in the program and be matched.
Absolutely. Now, what best way for folks at home to get in touch with Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Dane County? Is that through website, phone?
Yes, on our website you can donate, and you can also become a mentor and submit your application.
Very important stuff. Well, thank you so much for sharing that information. We appreciate all the insight, Dora, and we'll have to have you back because I think you have a lot more to say. So
great.
Thanks for doing that. Please stick around. We're going to talk about a new restaurant concept right after the break. Welcome back to Talk of the Town. We are going to talk about a new concept restaurant right here locally. Nick Morse joins us from M.A.C.S. Mac and Cheese Shop, Macaroni and Cheese Shop. Welcome.
Thank you.
So excited to have you.
Yeah.
This is fun. This is a fun topic. So we get to talk about this restaurant now. You had us at cheese. You're in the right spot for this.
Yeah, we're in cheese country, that's for sure.
Absolutely. What made you want to open a restaurant like this?
We were just thinking about some of our favorite foods, and mac and cheese was on the top of the list. And we knew with some family recipes we had and some playing around we've done over the years, my wife and myself, we came up with some pretty clever and creative ways to put extra twist on the traditional mac and cheese dish.
Yeah, and I was telling you before we started, I was looking at your website, and I was just blown away by how many kinds of macaroni and cheese there were. So this sounds like a silly question, but knowing your menu, what's your most popular item?
Our best seller is the chicken bacon ranch, and then real close to that is obviously our original. A lot of people like to just sample the basic, not get too crazy. And then we also have a loaded baked potato mac that is very popular.
That's actually the one that caught my eye, to be honest with you. There was a lot. There was several that I felt like I could do some damage with, but I liked that option. Now, you're in Sun Prairie.
Yes.
But is there another location also?
Yeah, we actually have our first location that we opened in June of 2013 in Wisconsin Dells. So we have one in Wisconsin Dells, and now we just opened in Sun Prairie this past summer.
What a perfect place. Wisconsin Dells just seems like that's got to be the best spot to be for something like this with the families coming, and what a hearty meal. But Sun Prairie, this is a great spot to go have lunch or dinner because you're open for both, correct?
Yes, yeah, we open daily at 11 o'clock, every day 11 till 9 p.m. Yeah, open for lunch, open for dinners, get a lot of families on the nights and on the weekends, and people stopping in for a quick lunch break in the weekdays. Also have online ordering if they just download our app or go on our Facebook page or website. It's all paid for right through the app. They skip the lines, get it to go, and can take it back to the office, take it back home, whatever they're...
Yeah, whatever you want.
Yeah.
You're good to go. And what a great concept, especially with the weather getting colder. I mean, what family doesn't want to just have a home-cooked meal, that you can swing by and pick up and bring home to the family?
Yeah,
That's great.
ready, nice and hot. It's the ultimate comfort food.
Oh, yeah.
We're kind of seeing that with the weather turning like it is. People are getting really excited. Want that nice warm bowl of macaroni and cheese to take home or dine in.
Yeah, and you got to look at the website because it's phenomenal how many types there are, and this will make you want to go there for sure. I may have to go this afternoon. Now, let's talk about specials. So you have your current menu. Is there anything in addition to that you want to talk about?
Yeah, we have our 12 specialty macaroni and cheese dishes that are on the menu each and every day. And then kind of talking about the weather turning cold, one of our first specials that we'll bring back starting in October will be our chili mac and cheese.
Okay.
That's a really popular one, and we run that pretty much through the winter time, through the end of February, early March. And then we'll throw in some others. We have a Philly cheesesteak mac that's really popular. It's really good. We like to throw that one on the special menu quite a bit. Broccoli and cheese, bratwurst and sauerkraut, mushroom Swiss burger. We have all kinds of different specials that we like to run and just kind of experiment and give our guests that are there a lot every week or every couple of weeks something new to try. And some of them are huge hits, some of them are more specialty, and we just like to play around with that and see what our guests respond to the most.
Love that. And you can even get ground beef. You can get the old school hot dogs.
Mama's Mac with the
Oh,
fried
that's
hot
what
dogs.
I grew up with that. Are you kidding? That's great. What else is on your menu besides mac and cheese?
Besides the 12 specialty dishes, we have 3 different wedge salads. We have 6 different grilled cheese or melts that we call them. Pretty mirror a lot of the dishes that we have. So chicken bacon ranch melt, a patty melt, chipotle chicken melt is really popular. And then we usually have homemade desserts, cookies, and then delicious cheesecakes and chocolate cake that my sister-in-law comes in and bakes for us right on site, and it's all homemade.
All kinds of delicious desserts.
Yes.
And they're all served in that little skillet, right? That's kind of your thing. I saw online.
Yes, everything's served in the skillet unless our to-go's come in something a little different. But yeah, everything
Very
comes in
neat.
the skillet.
Yeah, so this is where you get your cheese fix. You can
It
even get your
definitely is.
cheesecake fix. Now, this is the hard-hitting journalism question. What is your favorite?
Ooh, my favorite, they're like kids. I'm not supposed to have a favorite, but if you were pressing me, I'd say the number 5, the jalapeno popper,
Okay.
is my favorite Mac.
Jalapeno popper. That's probably a little more adventurous. I
little
might stick
bit.
with the basics, but I liked the one with the potatoes. That's my first try, I
Yeah,
think.
you have to try the baked potato.
Well, what a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us. Greatly appreciate it. Nick Morse, Macaroni and Cheese Shop. Go see him in Sun Prairie and also in the Dells. Thank you very much. Thanks to our guests, and thank you for watching. That's it for us for Talk of the Town. Please join us next time.